Back at it again with another YouTube video. It's your boy Uriah G, and today we're gonna react to 10 WWE gimmicks designed for other wrestlers. Let's get right into the video.
Wrestlers. Number 10, Mr. Kennedy, the son of Mr. McMahon. At WWE were adamant that Mr. Kennedy was going to be their next big star, so they delivered a huge storyline which saw Mr. McMahon trying to find out the identity of his illegitimate child, and the reveal was actually going to be that Kennedy was McMahon's son. This big reveal should have established him as a main event level star for years to come, and it should have set Kennedy up to be next in line for the WWE All-World title. Unfortunately, due to a suspension, WWE had to pivot, and it was ultimately decided that Hornswoggle would then be revealed as the illegitimate son. This reveal was mocked and belittled, and it was a case of WWE just openly laughing at the audience and telling them
I remember that storyline
directly that they could do whatever they wanted. Number 9, Chris Jericho, the Goon. Chris Jericho had an incredible career in WWE, and the crazy thing about Jericho is that he almost made his WWE debut in the mid-90s as the infamous character known as the Goon. According to Jericho, there was interest from WWE in the 90s, but Vince McMahon wanted him to play the hockey player character. Jericho turned the offer down and he wouldn't show up on TV until the summer of 1999. The awful Goon gimmick would eventually be played by Bill Irwin, and the gimmick fell completely flat, so Jericho without a doubt made a very sensible call. Number 8, Christian, Vengeful Attacker. During Jeff Hardy's main event run between 2008 to 2009, an unknown individual was trying to stop Hardy's momentum dead. Hardy would be involved in a number of freak accidents, and this individual wasn't trying to stop Hardy from reaching the top of WWE, they were also trying to bring Hardy to a permanent end. The original plans for the identity of this villainous individual were for it to be Christian. Christian was set to return to WWE after an outstanding run in TNA, and this would have been a perfect reintroduction to Captain Charisma. Due to these creative plans leaking online, WWE cancelled Christian's planned new gimmick and the character was given to Matt Hardy, which didn't really make a ton of sense. Whilst it was understandable that WWE were annoyed with the leak, they truly did need to change the creative direction, as this could have been huge for Christian and the fans would have loved to see him in that kind of role. Number 7, Baron Corbin, Baron Wyatt. The WWE were incredibly high on Baron Corbin when they initially signed him, and one of the gimmick ideas they had for him would have seen him become an official member of the Wyatt family.
I did not know that.
WWE were sold on the idea, so much so that they even shot promos with Corbin as part of the Bray Wyatt faction, but unfortunately these promos have never been seen by the fanbase. It's never been known why WWE changed the plans, as Corbin was perfect for the role. However, the lone wolf persona that Corbin would debut in NXT also worked extremely well, so it wasn't as if Corbin was given a terrible gimmick following the creative change.
Okay, but realistically,
With these stupid advertisements. You see guys, I'm trying to record a video and they gonna give me a McDonald's ad. Come on, man.
Elijah Burke, male cheerleader. Upon brainstorming ideas for the male cheerleading faction known as the Spirit Squad, one of the names
I see Dolph Ziggler. He was in
that
Spirit
WWE
Squad.
wanted to include was Elijah Burke.
I didn't even know Elijah Burke was supposed to join Spirit Squad. I just remember Elijah Burke in ECW, and I remember him in TNA.
And in a bold move, Burke turned Vince McMahon down and stated that the gimmick really wasn't for him. Discussing the plans for him to be involved in the group on the two-man Power Trip podcast, this is what the former WWE star had to say.
They wanted me to go up and be, in my opinion, the Afro-haired chosen black guy during that time in the group. And trust me, it was a great opportunity. We sat there, we talked to Vince McMahon himself, and Vince said, hey, I want you guys to understand, this is my idea. And we're going to make a lot of money. If you're uncomfortable, we'll send you back down, OVW, and we'll wait till we get something else for you. When I went back to Johnny Ace and I went back to Vince and I said, hey, I appreciate the opportunity. I'm forever grateful, with all due respect. But I don't feel like I should do anything that I could not live up to in your standards. And I don't want to be a failure. And I don't believe that this spot is for me.
Well, at least he was honest to talk to Vince and tell him that he didn't want that gimmick. So, hey.
It would have taken a lot of courage for Burke to turn the opportunity down, and this act of defiance could have potentially cost Burke his WWE career. Number 5, Biggie, a member of The Shield. The Shield are one of the most successful and popular stables of all time, and it's hard to imagine anyone in the group other than Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose. But with that being said, other names were initially considered for the group, and at one time there were going to be 4 members, and the 4th member of the faction would have been Biggie. According to Biggie,
I don't think I even knew about this. Maybe I've heard about it, but I just don't remember.
during an episode of WWE 24, it looked like he would have been part of the faction as he was doing live event loops with the trio. My first feeling of getting called up was in 2012. I was doing loops. Any collective period of days is a loop. It's Roman, Seth, Dean, and me. There was some thought of bringing all 4 of us together as a group. Obviously that changes. They go on to international fame as the Shield.
Instead, they you know, when they put him, when he first debuted at Slammy Awards on Raw, you remember, it was John Cena versus Dolph Ziggler, and Biggie made his debut and he attacked John Cena, and then Biggie was in a little stable group with Dolph Ziggler and AJ Lee. I remember that.
Biggie would eventually debut as Dolph Ziggler's bodyguard, and he would have a great career in his own right as he would eventually join the beloved New Day faction. Number 4, Kevin Nash, Anonymous Raw General Manager. The Anonymous Raw General Manager was eventually revealed to be Hornswoggle. This reveal completely killed any mystique and weight the angle had, and whilst the angle was ridiculous, it could have led to a surprise return or even a massive debut. According to former WWE writer Kevin Eck, one idea that he wanted to implement was for the big reveal to be Kevin Nash. The idea would be that Nash had to keep his identity secret due to being under contract to TNA. It would be revealed on the show that the emails were being sent from a production truck, and when this was investigated, it would be revealed that Nash would be in the truck sporting a wizard hat to pay homage to his WCW character known as Oz. This was a unique creative pitch to say the very least. Number 3, Edge, Val Venus. Val Venus was one of the more infamous
Wait, so you're telling me Edge was supposed to have Val Venus's gimmick? Okay.
characters of the Attitude Era, and the interesting thing about the persona is that it was almost played by wrestling legend Edge. Edge was initially penciled in to portray the character, but then Edge was eventually given the gothic Edge persona, and the WWE would go with Sean Morley to portray the adult film star. This was definitely the right move, as the Venus character was stale within a few short years, and the Edge character had more room to evolve. The reason why WWE wanted Edge to play the Venus character was that Edge played a raunchy character on the independent circuit. Edge would portray a character known as Sexton Hardcastle, and WWE naturally associated Daniels. The higher
Well, he was called the Rated R Superstar, so...
power was one of the most disappointing reveals imaginable. One of the reasons as to why it was such a letdown was because it made no logical sense. When The Undertaker debuted the Ministry of Darkness faction, he began to speak of a mysterious higher power. This could have been a fascinating new development in The Undertaker's lore and history, yet this higher power was revealed to be Vince McMahon, the man the dead man had been feuding with for months on end. It was later revealed that one of the ideas for the reveal was for it to be Christopher Daniels. However, Vince McMahon took issue with Daniels' size and build and decided to cancel any plans involving the future TNA star. It was just terrible booking from WWE, as there were so many names that
So I remember Christopher Daniels when he was in TNA. Isn't he in AEW though?
would have worked. And number 1, Taz, Attempted Murderer. The WWE completely butchered the big reveal of who ran down Stone Cold Steve Austin. In a unique twist, it was revealed that Rikishi was the man responsible, and this
Rikishi did it for The Rock.
booking call has been ridiculed and mocked for almost 25 years, and rightly so. But WWE almost went in a completely different direction, and this could have worked extremely well. According to former WWE writer Brian Gewirtz, it was almost Taz that would have been given the nod, however this was changed the following week, and WWE eventually went with Rikishi. Speaking during an appearance on the Ariel Helwani show, he stated, "I remember at one point Vince looked at me and was like, Taz. At one point it was going to be Taz. Okay, great, let's make it Taz. Then for whatever reason, the next week it's someone different. I wouldn't call that necessarily a success. Rikishi is a Hall of Fame performer, but he's likable and a natural babyface, and people want to like him. Sometimes you just don't know until you try. Then ultimately it was Rikishi, but Triple H was behind it all along, and it went back to the natural order of things."
If you know Vince, he always can change the creativity of the creative direction on the storylines, the characters, and stuff like that. So, that's just Vince.
Can you imagine how much that would have boosted Taz into the main event scene?
Now that we have Triple H as the owner of the company, he makes all the changes. He knows he has better booking. He does better booking than Vince himself. Vince, he could book a little bit, but this is a new era of WWE. So.
But there you have it, folks. 10 WWE.
Alright, I talk too much. This was 10 WWE gimmicks designed for other wrestlers. Subscribe, like, comment, tell me what you guys want to see next in the comments down below. I got more videos coming. Stay tuned to that. And yeah, Uriah out. Dang. Hold on.